Hello, everybody. My name is Cynthia,
My name's Ethan.
and welcome back to the second episode of the Synthetic podcast. Sorry, I realized I should be holding my mic instead. Um, last week we discussed Long Legs, a bunch of movies that we actually, yeah, I know I blanked. Long Legs and a bunch of other movies that we wanted to catch up on and give our thoughts out, just like shoot it out into the world, you know?
What?
I thought of a really funny thing to say. I won't say it on the podcast. Okay. But movies. So this week, we're going to do our little recap, talk about things that we watched, as always. So this week, I actually didn't watch a whole lot of movies. I don't know if I said this last time, but I watched Godzilla 2000.
I did not know you watched that.
Oh, yeah. I watched it sometime within the last week. I enjoyed it a lot.
I wasn't sure how you were going to feel. I remember being angry at how long Orga was a floating saucer for the movie, but it was my favorite Godzilla suit as a child, and right now I'd have to reassess which one is my favorite, but I know 2000 could be a slow burn.
Yeah, I thought a few moments were really funny. I to be honest, I felt like it was mainly a diss on the American Godzilla movie, just in a more subtext way, where they're talking about not talking about, but the movie is like, oh, this alien comes in to Japan and wants to steal Godzilla's DNA to make a cheap knockoff copy of it. I mean, grasping at straws here, but I was like, that'd be funny if it was.
I was not old enough to get that out of it when I last watched the movie.
Yeah.
But I'll look into that because, I mean, they did come out pretty close together, right?
I think the American Godzilla movie was 1999, and then obviously this movie came out in 2000. So
Okay, well, the first Godzilla was made pretty fast, so I wouldn't say it's impossible that they were like, oh, let's write a movie about how bad this one was, subtly. But yeah, the original Godzilla movie, just a little fun fact for the nerds out there, the person who was in charge of special effects was inspired by the original King Kong and wanted to do stop motion, but that would have taken years. So he pioneered suitmation and built the big latex suit that we now know, kind of as a way to get it done in a very short amount of time, because then they could film it in real time. Not always.
Is a little TV show. You guys might not have heard of it. It's called Batman Beyond. I know, I've been rewatching that. Dude, it's sick. I really like it. I forgot how much I liked it. I also forgot how much poor timing a lot of the movie is. Or sorry, not the movie, the show is. Because it started in 1999, and in the first season, there's this tune fork-shaped tower, and...
Yeah.
Did something happen?
No. What's it look like?
No, it's still recording. Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, sorry. You froze out on me. Okay. So it looks like two little towers, and then it blows up, and it crashes, and I'm like, oh, I'm sure they took this off the air in 2001.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. I was 2 years old, so I probably was not like, oh my god, they took off my favorite episode of Batman Beyond.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a super great episode, but
Yeah.
I forgot how cool the designs are and how sick the music is, and the intro's so cool and edgy. It was I think I'm gonna start a binge of just watching a bunch of old superhero animated shows.
Oh yeah.
that I used
If
to
you
watch.
have Disney Plus, you gotta watch the Spider-Man animated series, and Batman the animated series. I think is on Max.
Yeah, it is.
And I watched a couple episodes of each just for that hit of nostalgia, but I can't commit to anything more than 30 seconds long at this point.
The TikTok brain rot.
I can't even brush my teeth without watching TikTok now. It's kind of a disease.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I've been watching.
Wait. One last thing I've also been watching is House MD. I've been watching that with
Ooh.
Soul. Yeah, it's awesome. It's it's just this white guy being a bigot the whole show, and he's an asshole, and he's an addict.
I get
It's
so
awesome.
many out of context clips of him saying vaguely racist things.
He says straight racist things too.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
There's this one episode where there's a cop in it, and one of the doctors is black, and House just keeps saying like a bunch of remarks. He's like, "Hey, cops are human too," but he doesn't like the cop either. He's just saying it just to be a dick.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my god.
The duality of autistic doctors. We have House and we have the good doctor.
Yeah. And only one of them is canonically not autistic. There's an episode in House where he says he has Asperger's, which, outdated term, but
Yeah.
they go like, House,
You know
have
why we don't
Asperger's.
use that anymore, right?
Because it was the name of a Nazi, or is it a Nazi idea?
Yeah, the doctor it's named after is a Nazi, yeah.
Yeah. And then...
Plus, it was, it was under the same umbrella as, it just became the autism spectrum.
Yeah. It's just, it just is.
Yeah, I think we were at a point where, like, there wasn't enough research, and this is, not... this is from my memory. I think that Asperger's was like a diagnosis for like people that were functioning autistic, and then autism was like something that you only put for people that were like more disabled by it, and then they were kind of, it became a whole spectrum, like everyone is affected differently, yada yada. Yeah.
I love my autistic homies. Yeah, but in that episode, they say that, and then, well, he says that. He says that he has Asperger's, and then later they go like, you don't have Asperger's, you're just saying that. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, he got autism. Just a little
I
bit.
sadly learned that word from South Park.
Oh. I think I
know the
remember
episode?
watching. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a very quick summary for those who don't know the episode. Cartman tries to get out of school stuff by saying he has Asperger's, so he puts hamburgers in his pants. And then people found out that they taste really good, and he starts selling them because his bodily gases were a combination of multiple fast foods, and they enhanced the flavor of the burgers. And then all the major food companies are like, how is he making the burgers taste so good? It tastes like KFC and McDonald's and all this other stuff. It's good. Yeah. Meanwhile, Stan is like depressed and might have Asperger's or something like that. And yeah.
But I think that's it. I think I also mentioned last week I finished season 6 of Skins. And it was very good. But yeah, I'm still kind of upset about everything that's happened in the last 6 seasons of Skins, and it's a pain to watch because it's emotionally exhausting. I have to take a break every time we finish like a generation, and I'm like, okay, that's it. I can't watch. But I'm on the last season, so I don't have to go through the pain of watching it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
You totally have to continue watching.
Oh, I do have to. Soul will not let me not watch it. Yeah, now drop what you've been watching.
Just Invader Zim and a little bit of The Walking Dead. not because I want to, but because my wifey is watching it. And I did not watch any of season 1 or 2 with her, but I kind of just sat through half of season 3 with her because she was watching it on my iPad. And it's so hard not to spoil the deaths because that's the only thing I know about the show. And season 3 feels like half my life ago, which it actually might be half my life ago. It feels like super, super long. But Invader Zim, I have some good and some bad to say about rewatching it. The good is that it's just as funny and amazing as I remember. The bad is mostly that it's more gross than I realized as a kid. Particularly like the 4th or 5th episode when Zim gets sent to the nurse's office and Dib tells him, hey, the nurse is going to realize you don't have human organs and she's going to send you to get cut open and yada yada. So Zim goes on a little rampage harvesting organs from his classmates and replacing them with random objects. And we later see him with like hundreds of human organs, multiple hearts, multiple long intestines, multiple livers, all that. And all of the students are like sick and dying, and it gets into this like real creepy horror thing where Dib and this other kid are like running in the dark, and there's like an X-ray of Zim going past the screen with all these organs in him, and he steals the last healthy kid's organs, and the nurse deems him healthy and thinks Dib is an alien because Zim replaced one of his organs with a thing that makes a cow noise. And I'm like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Why was I unfazed by this as a child?
That's actually funny that you weren't fazed by it.
Yeah, like there was a lot of normal things that creeped me out in cartoons as a kid, or at least far less scary things. But Invader Zim was always just like hilarious and nothing else to me. But yeah. A few episodes like have a plot that I just like I immediately remembered as soon as the episode started, and I was like, oh, I actually don't like this one. For example, the second episode of the show, Zim upgrades Gur's navigation, and then they walk across the town, and then he's like, all right, guide us back, and Gur is like, oh, I left that at home. And the whole episode is just them trying to make their way back, and I was like, oh great, I know this one. This one's not that interesting. And then there's another one where his ship crashes because he hit a bee, and he has to get it back, but he has to deal with this convention of like alien hippies. And I don't know, like I remembered the whole episode the instant it started, and I was like, I don't really like this one, and I have to wait until it's over to get to the ones that I really think are funny. Like the water balloon one. I don't know why, but when I was a kid and when Zim gets absolutely tortured by water, I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. That's actually a good one.
Yeah, it was a really good one. Gaz is now my favorite character. Used to be Gur, but Gaz is the best.
Gaz. Yeah, Gaz. I remember watching the movie, I'm like, damn, Gaz, you're so relatable.
Yeah, I can't wait till I get to her episode, which is all about getting the new version of that game she plays, but some other kid buys the last copy and she like goes to his house and tortures him.
Oh, I remember that one. I remember
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to get to that because Gaz is just the best character.
Yeah, I remember watching that at like, it was like 9 o'clock, so it was like really dark out, and I remember watching her just like torture this kid, and I got scared. I was like, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
All this for a video game?
Yeah.
Oh,
in the organs episode, Zim replaces one of her organs with her Game Boy-esque console, and she's like playing it through her hip because it's inside of her body.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just great.
Yeah.
I don't know how this show aired for, was it 3 seasons?
I think so.
Or was it 2?
I don't know. I don't know how it got off the ground. If you look at, like, have you seen that creator's artwork?
I've seen some of his comic work, yeah, and definitely not for children. I don't know how he got into a kid's TV show.
I don't know either. I mean, I guess back then they were just like, let anyone animate kids stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was not too long after like Courage the Cowardly Dog was on air, and that was
That's true.
probably equally or more like disturbing.
Yeah. There's just like random episodes where they would like introduce horror to kids, and then you just like have that kid, or you just have that time, like you have that episode that you just have nightmares about.
Yeah.
Yeah, nostalgia. I remember actually it was so weird, the SpongeBob episode where he gets trapped in the that one city that's like
Shell City, or no, sorry,
not
Rock
Shell
Bottom.
City. Rock Bottom, yeah. When he gets to Rock Bottom, dude, that episode scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my god.
I was not bothered by that one. But, you know, it's funny because a lot of the scarier things in those old shows have been, like, unscarified for me by memes. Like, you know, there's a CG thing in Courage where it's like a blue fetus with, like, a adult man's face. And he's like, you are not perfect. And now when I think of that, I see an image of that blue fetus and it just says Outback Steakhouse. And now it's not scary because I can't not hear Outback Steakhouse and such and such.
Yeah. Oh, that meme where it's like, oh, now something the most suppressed group of all, gamers. I found the clip in Batman Beyond. It's from Batman Beyond. I don't know why he floats up like that, but it's so funny that he does. He doesn't say that, which is unfortunate. I kind of wish he'd said something along the lines of that.
He doesn't even say anything about oppressed groups of people or anything. He just completely unrelated line, or what?
It's a completely unrelated. I think maybe because like at that point I was like making food, so I like looked away for a second and they look back, and then I see him. He threw the table up there and then just flies up there and he says something else. Wait, let me double check.
Gamers.
Oh no, there's too many psychic kids in the show.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just drop it.
Yeah.
There's no time.
I know, you're right. We got all the time in the world. We're 20 minutes in. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, I think the recap is over. I think it's time to discuss Season 4 of The Boys.
Los Niños.
Los Niños. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
Start.
Okay, I'll start. Season 4 of The Boys is pretty good. I think very much deviates from the comics, which I thank God. Every comic panel and everything I see from the comic book is like god awful, and I'm just like I don't think they liked the comic. I really don't think they like the comic. I just think
most people do.
Yeah, I just think they were like, this would be a nice IP to use.
Yeah, and I'm glad they're deviating from the comics because one of my friends was like, I read the comic, I know how the show's gonna end, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, but Black Noir is gonna... I'm like, no, he's not, because he's not who you think he is. Because I know who he is in the comics, and he's not that person in the show.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know
No,
who Black
I know.
Noir really... Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
just in case someone doesn't want to be spoiled for the comic ending. But
Yeah.
the one panel that's in the comics that I keep seeing that I really hope we get a live-action imitation of is Butcher walking up to the White House with all the soups hovering in the air. Because that's just such cool imagery.
Yeah, that would go so hard. I know they used it as promotional material, but
Well, it was just Homelander.
it was just Homelander, you're right. So
Yeah.
maybe next season it'll be Butcher, but
Yeah.
which also thank God that they're ending on season 5. Eric Kripke, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. I actually haven't seen Gen V. So, seeing a lot of characters from, well, not a lot, but like the few characters from Gen V who like are in it, and I'm just like, I don't know who these people are. I mean, I'm glad they don't have like a larger impact other than just being there and barely having any lines. So
Yeah, being weaponized at the end and having a couple lines at like a convention was fine because I didn't watch Gen V either, and I think it's canceled because one of the actors might have passed away.
One of the actors did pass away, unfortunately, but they're doing season 2 still. I think they're actually gonna get. I don't remember what they're doing with that character, which unfortunate that he passed away. Not unfortunate that they can't figure out what to do with him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna phrase that very. I don't want to get taken out of. I don't want to be Christian divined.
Well, for season 4, let's start dissecting it a little bit.
Yeah.
A common criticism I see of season 4 is that Homelander didn't do much. And, you know, I think that you're going to say something along the lines of, like, you know, I'm more of a dialogue person anyway. I don't really care if he didn't physically do much, because he had a lot to do with the plot and, like, what he says. And that's where I stand. It's like, he was involved a lot. He just didn't physically do much.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly thought it was. I liked it more that he was not very present, because it's kind of just like, you know, the role he played was not like this villain mastermind. There was like so many moving pieces in season 4, but also it's like they weren't. It's like you're playing chess and now you're just set up, and now we have to wait 2 years before we see any payoff. But I enjoyed Homelander's character more in this season. I mean, I still prefer overall earlier seasons of Homelander. I think he's a lot more menacing in the earlier seasons. I think just also watching him get his ass beat in season 3, I'm just like, yeah, you baby, you bitch.
Yeah. I think he was more threatening in the first season, particularly because we actually saw him, like, use all of his powers more. For example, when Translucent goes missing and he's flying back and forth across the sky, it's like, oh my god, he could land right here any second. Like, he can hear everything, he can see everything, he's flying, like that was suspenseful. But now he's always sitting up in Vought Tower crying, and it's like he's unhinged, which is great, but he's also like, he's not gonna do anything to the main characters. He's had plenty of opportunities to kill them, and we're at a point where it seems like he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
For plot reasons.
Yeah.
I'm like, you put the Starlighters, like, in a physical, like, location where it's, like, publicly known where they are. And the Deep and A-Train and Noir have all, like, been there. But, like, Homelander hasn't just gone there and killed them himself.
Yeah. I just don't understand why he goes like, oh yeah, I'll send my henchmen to do this, because I don't want to do this. For reasons.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I partially. It's not that I don't buy it. It's just that I don't feel it's very compelling.
Yeah.
As a reason to not have Homelander be doing stuff. And I guess it's like fine overall. I'm just like I'm fine with Homelander having a lot of character moments in this, like feeling like trying to figure out how to be a dad in his own weird Homelander way, while also dealing with politics and being such a public figure.
Yeah, I mean, ever since early season 3, I think they realized they don't have to anymore. And obviously we know who they're parodying, and the things that individual says and does don't have to be covered up because he's blindly supported either way. And that's, you know, it got to a point where Anthony Starr was like, stop making me say things that Donald Trump would say, because they sound too stupid for Homelander to actually say. This fictional supervillain wouldn't be dumb enough to say this thing that a real politician would say.
Yeah.
And there are those moments where they say something that's very, like, buzzwordy, especially in season 3, like with Blue Hawk. And it was like I get we're like, you know, we're doing we're parodying real moments thing, but like word for word.
Yeah. I mean, This season has like its moments with that. I think particularly with the episodes where the riot happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I I thought it was so. Hold on, we'll keep dissecting it before I get into the fan base and everything like that, like the internet interpreting the show. Sage was my favorite character.
I was going to bring up that she's the highlight of the season.
Yeah, she's very much the highlight of the season, even though she's not in it so much. I really enjoy her character, and I'm glad that she'll be in season 5. I really thought she was gonna die this season, but very glad she doesn't.
I had a strong feeling that she knew what was going on all the way through.
Yeah.
And wouldn't have walked herself into a path that would get her killed.
Yeah.
And it was just so... It's so cool to have a genius character like this that isn't obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because, like, even at the big reveal at the end, it was like... As soon as she walks in, I'm like, yes, I knew it! She was gonna... It wasn't like a, oh, bummer, like... Except for the people that are in the fan base, which we'll get to, who will be obnoxious for a variety of reasons. But Sage was a great character. I love the idea that, like, she can get shot in the head and, like, her brain... she's just dumb until her brain regenerates. Like, everything about Sage was great. And the only questions I was left with about Sage were, like, why was she doing stuff with the Deep? And, like, you know, like, lobotomizing herself and stuff. Like, is that part of her plan, or was she just kind of messing around? Like, it didn't seem to come around in the plot. Like, she didn't need to use the Deep for anything.
Yeah, I think it was just her messing around.
Yeah, I was just overall super, like, waiting for that to build up to something. I guess it was just building up to the thing with Noir, where he's like, wait, I love you, and then he asks if she's been doing that for him too, and he's like, lobotomizing yourself? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I also thought...
Okay, the only... gone. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah. It's happening to me too.
Yeah.
It won't be in the production.
Yeah. Shall we discuss Ryan?
Oh, yes. Yes. Ryan has a pretty cool character arc, and I want to see where it goes with this season. I just think he's a little underutilized. I think that, but also, you know, what can you do?
Yeah. I definitely think we could have seen more of him, and I really like that we're getting ambiguous, like actions from him, because when we first when we first see him and Butcher, like, interacting and stuff, you're like, oh yeah, he's clearly gonna turn on Homelander because Butcher's the better, not really better person, but like, and now it's like he's starting to see how the power dynamic is so tempting to be like his father, and even though he, like, runs away from his father, like, the other people are just gonna use him, and, like, they're, like, just trying to, you know, use him to get to their own ends. And I'm really curious to see where it goes with him. I mean, clearly, narratively, he's probably gonna turn out to choose good over evil, but, like, unlike, let's say, Rey in Star Wars, like, she was never gonna be the bad guy. Like, you try to make us think, oh, maybe she'll embrace her Palpatine Sith evilness. No, of course not. But with Ryan, it's like, oh, he's actually doing bad stuff and he's enjoying it, and we're not sure where that's gonna go. Maybe they'll flip me on top of my head and make Ryan turn out to be a bad guy and Butcher has to kill him. I don't think so, but what if?
Yeah. It's just, like, also, it's another season where, like, Butcher ruins the plan. Again, I think this is, like, because, like, season 3, he was like, oi, Jensen Ackles, stop that.
Not the kid.
Not the kid. And then this season, he just goobers it because he can, I guess.
No deals.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it didn't really matter because they would have got caught anyways.
Yeah,
but
Rip Newman.
Rip Newman. Oh my queen, my queen.
Yeah, that was a stressful scene. I didn't think they were gonna do something like that.
I know, I didn't think so either. I was like, oh.
Like, I knew they weren't brave enough to kill off one of the boys in the season, but I didn't expect Newman to go.
I know. I was just like, why? I wanted to see what she could do. Like, to any other superhero. I've seen her pop people's heads.
Yeah, I think she can't do it to people with super strength.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. I saw it more when she lasered, when Homelander lasered her. I thought she was just using her eyes as a threat, not like I'm gonna pop your head open right now.
Yeah. Like she maybe tried to, but couldn't.
I thought it was more like a don't make me pop your head right now in national television.
I mean, I would have if I could have.
I know.
She was already outed, like she.
Yeah.
Like I would have.
Well, but for her, it would be stupid. At that moment, it would be stupid to kill Homelander because they were colluding together and they had a plan to,
Yeah, but Homelander already ruined her plan.
Yeah.
Kind of.
But, yeah.
Wow, there's so much we can talk about because I'm thinking about the Shifter and Tech Knight and the Huey's Dad episode and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say about Tech Knight because I didn't watch that episode.
Yeah, Tech Knight was a very absurd character. Like, I know very, like, wealthy people can say some cruel and unhinged racist things, but Tech Knight was just, like, 10 steps above that. Like, I don't know if you've seen the clips of him talking to A-Train.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's like... I'm like, would someone actually say that to someone? Like, and the answer's probably yes. And I just don't know people that are that wealthy. But, like, it's just so bizarre. And then, of course, we get the scene where Starlight tells them to donate $100 million to BLM. And he's like, no, not those people. Yeah, but I don't know. That scene was also, like, weird to have. Like, because Huey is, like, we just had Huey in this, like, super traumatic incident scene, and then they grab his laptop, which is unlocked, and then they could start donating all his money to all these organizations because, you know, a multi-billionaire doesn't have any kind of encryptions or locks on his bank accounts. Whatever, funny joke, and then Tech Knight's out of the show. I think that episode crossed the line, was not funny. I'm not usually someone that says things cross the line for me, but that was so uncomfortable to watch, and I watched it with two relatives.
Yeah.
Because I watched the whole show with my grandfather, and then he had to sit there with me through that. It was way more uncomfortable than Herogasm, way more uncomfortable than any other scene in the show. Like, just horrible.
Again, sorry, I don't want to get into the fan base bit because we're gonna like rar into them. Let's see what else to talk about.
Huey's dad.
Oh, I don't want to talk about Huey's dad. Huey's dad episode actually made me cry. I cried like a little baby.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say I didn't care because a lot of people said they didn't care, and I was like, what?
No, I thought that was like one of the most impactful episodes, and I was like, ah.
That hurt me.
Yeah, and then the next episode he gets nay-nayed again. Like, Huey did not win this season. Huey never wins.
Yeah, and I never felt bad for Huey before until now. And I'm like, please leave him alone.
Yeah.
And then Starlight in the last episode, like, went in on him for not knowing about the Shifter, even though the Shifter literally copies her memories and, like, could, you know, if you try to question her on anything, to prove that she's not the shifter, she would know what to say.
Yeah, that's true.
And like, I understand from Starlight's perspective, like, she spent 10 days locked in a dark room with a bucket and the Lunchables, so she's mad. But like, poor Huey.
Yeah, because like, I don't know. I saw really, again, I'll just bring this up because like it's just like I saw so many chronically online takes where they're like, how come Huey didn't know? How could Huey not know? And if he, what, like I would have known, Starlight Queen, I would have. And I'm like, dude, that is a crime.
I didn't know until she shifted like her eyes right in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And that was a mind-blowing twist because they showed us the shifter 45 minutes ago and I forgot about it. And I was like, that's brilliant, because no matter how hard I tried to keep that on mind, it was gone. And then it came back and I was like, and like that's talent, that's talented writing, cuz like yeah. And a very, very, very unique way to do a shapeshifter. I've never seen anything so morbid as a shape-shifting superpower.
Yeah.
At least where she's, like, disgustingly peeling off her skin and face.
Yeah. I also thought I just thought the last ending, the end of the season finale was very underwhelming. And I know people are like, oh, this is like one of the best season finales ever. I'm like, was it?
I mean,
you
lowered my expectations, and I ended up really liking it.
Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't.
Not much happens.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm just like
happens in the last.
Yeah, yeah, that's also true. Well, I'm just like nothing. Not a lot happens throughout the episode until the last minute, and I don't know. I was just sitting there and I was like, okay, they wrapped up the shapeshifter plot really quickly, but then I guess it didn't really matter anyways, because it mattered, but it didn't matter to me. I didn't care about it too much because the Starlight confrontation was very short-lived, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna develop more, but also, and this might just be like an intrusive thought, but did you also think that because of the original title of the episode that there was going to be like a rally and like a gun involved?
Yeah, I did.
I was like, oh, they're in a vault underground. Okay, this isn't the setting I was expecting for this.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that I wasn't thinking that because of recent events.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was well, I also just wasn't thinking that. I wasn't thinking particularly because of what happened.
I thought there would be like Shifter Starlight with a sniper. And then she gets framed for murdering guy from Supernatural who has the same
Bobby
name. Yeah.
Bobby, I love you, Bobby.
Yeah, same name. Yeah. But
AJ.
yeah, no, the little fight was a little not interesting, a little too short, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say not a lot happened aside from that. I mean, just there was that. There was Butcher and Grace, Mallory, and Ryan, and then there was Newman and Huey, and then there was everyone gets together, and then Butcher, and then Homelander, and then the end. Like, a lot happened. It's just like it ramped up in pacing. Like, it was really slow, and then it was too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm just like, oh, well, it didn't feel as climatic as last season. And I think I'm just putting last season on the pedestal because I really enjoyed season 3 a lot.
Yeah, it was probably the best of the show, but I'm really
Yeah.
hopeful for season 5.
Yeah, I am too. Because I think it would be stupid not to bring A-Train, which we didn't talk about A-Train. A-Train, Maeve, Starlight together and like try and I don't know who
Maeve
else
is powerless now, right?
is she?
She was hit by Soldier Boy's beam. She's
Oh,
powerless.
you're right.
Favorite season. Didn't watch it.
No, I remember she lived.
Don't listen to us boys fans. We don't watch our own show.
No, don't do this to me.
What a great meme.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a very easy detail to forget. I only remembered
Yeah.
it because I rewatched season 3 with her. But
Oh yeah.
I was a little upset that we don't see any A Train in the last episode.
I know.
Like I didn't want him to get killed on screen or anything, but I wanted to see him.
Yeah. I'm just like we gotta we gotta have that A Train we have to have one confrontation that like that pays off.
Yeah.
Because I mean the only one that I felt like paid off was Soldier Boy and Homelander and Butcher. That one really paid off well. And then I feel like the one with
The Shifter, Starlight versus
the Deep.
Oh yeah. Oh right,
Yeah.
right. That fight happened.
Yeah, which I only felt like was satisfactory for again a little bit, and also A Train was there, and my brain was happy.
Yeah, I was like, finally a fight scene with like the not just the boys against random heroes, or random soups, but I didn't really, it was not the best fight. Also, the Deep was worst character of the season.
Worst character of the season.
Oh my god, I did not enjoy a single second of the Deep. Like,
I know.
It's not even like funny how sad he is anymore. Like, I want him dead.
Yeah. I mean, I always didn't like him.
Yeah, I mean, he was never likable, but like he was funny to like be the punching bag of the show. But now it's just like die, like please.
Yeah. You're pathetic.
You're a Captain Barnia.
Yeah, because also, okay, I think the logic of the show overall and how they can or can't kill a soup is like flawed, just like a teeny tiny bit. It's just I
other character are you concerned about?
Well, I'm just like, how if they found out how to kill Translucent, who it has impenetrable skin, how come they can't figure out how to kill the Deep?
I don't think they've tried to kill the Deep.
They haven't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like the Deep. I feel like you could shoot him to death. Like, he doesn't seem impenetrable like the others. I mean, I know Noir took a ton of bullets, and he probably doesn't even need the armor, the new Noir. But like, yeah, the Deep just seems like a guy with fish powers, and above average strength. But I don't think he has, because Translucent, they explained that he has like impenetrable skin, but his insides are regular, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, you can't do anything like that to the ones like Homelander because his insides and outsides are like that.
Yeah.
But
again,
just the Deep. I don't know. I thought that A Train could have done a lot more damage.
Yeah.
Especially like he was fighting at like a fast speed, but not nearly as fast as he does everything else.
Yeah. I guess I'm hoping next season they kind of like utilize people's powers a little bit and make it visually interesting to watch the fight.
Yeah. Starlight.
Starlight, please.
Had one good scene in the entire show with her powers, and it was her flying away like Iron Man.
Yeah.
And they definitely are gonna buff her into oblivion for the final season.
Yeah, I assume that too.
Which I'm all here for, because I gotta say, right above the Deep, Starlight was probably my second least favorite character in the season. She is so... Yeah. She's such a downer the entire show.
Yeah.
Like, she was optimistic at first. I know that was taken away from her, but like, even with Huey and the others, like, she's just so... Like, all she does is complain.
Yeah. Well, I know it's like intentional because it's like, oh, it's someone dealing with like depression and that, but
yeah. But like they're not all unlikable like that. Like MM and Huey have shit. Frenchie has shit, but they're still likable.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would trade in my list. I would trade Starlight with Frenchie this season. I did not care for Frenchie at all this season.
Yeah, they're pretty close for me.
Yeah.
I think that it's so polarized with him because of his arc with Colin, which,
Yeah.
depending on why you're upset, I get it. I think that, if you thought why would anyone stray away from Kimiko as a romantic interest, you'd be right to say that. But if you're like, why is he gay now? Like, then you're wrong.
Yeah.
But clearly, it was just a plot device to make him efface his past, which didn't seem very earned. And then he's in jail, and then he's bailed out, and then he's like, whatever, I'm staying.
Whatever, I'm staying. Also, is Edgar gonna do anything? He was saved by Newman.
Yeah,
And
I hope he can at least get Newman's daughter out of that home.
Yeah. Here's gonna be my small theory for season 5. Just like a tiny one. It's gonna be a stupid ass one because I want Newman to be alive. I think Edgar's probably already has or is going to make a clone of Newman.
I think Newman's gone, and you should move on.
No,
But
I want her back.
here's what I'm worried about with season 5. Whenever there's a season cliffhanger and all the characters get locked up in some kind of prison or get captured by their enemy, they break out in the first 20 minutes of the first episode of the next season. And I hate that trope. Like, all of them just get out of whatever's captured them so easily because they just wanted the cliffhanger, but they don't want to make it realistic or pay off. I really hope that it doesn't go that way.
I mean, I don't think it will. I think they'll probably either spend the whole episode trying to get out, or they're gonna spend the whole episode prepping to get them out, or something.
Yeah. And I don't even know how it's gonna happen with the way all the characters went out. I mean, Kimiko at the end was just so, like, that was the saddest thing I've seen in television in a long time.
I know. Kimiko, no.
Yeah.
And they're all separated, probably, unless they all go to the same prison.
That would be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. If it's like all of them in one jail cell.
That would be so funny. That would be so funny. I'd be like, why?
Again, I'm concerned, but I have faith in the writers, but I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to utilize Soldier Boy.
Me too. I don't care, because Jensen Ackles is back, baby.
Yeah, because
Soldier Boy.
When I was thinking, like, oh, if Homelander ever found out about Soldier Boy, would he just kill him? Like, but I guess he wouldn't, but I'm not sure what he's going to do with him.
I think he still wants, like, father's approval.
Yeah.
So he's probably gonna spend. I mean, it'd be stupid if he was like, you know what? I'm not gonna team up with you, Homelander. More like Homie Lander. Am I right? And then, I mean, that's the only thing I feel like. I don't know. I hope Soldier Boy plays a big part in it, but also, like, what can they do in 8 episodes? I assume it's gonna be 8 episodes. Honestly, if they make it a little longer, I'd be fine with it, but
I guess we're just going to have a lot of Homelander trying to get... He's going to be in a weird triangle between Soldier Boy and Ryan where neither of them give him what he wants out of their relationships, and he's going to blow up.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
No.
Now, with Butcher driving up the road, at the end of the season, it really seems like the first episode of the next season would be the last episode. Like, I'm like, where is he? Like, it seems like we're ramping up to the end of the whole show right here.
Yeah. Yeah, it really does.
But then we have 8 hours of stuff to happen before we get there.
Watch them do eight episodes. It ends on a cliffhanger, and then they make a movie.
I've heard that could happen. And I wouldn't be against a movie, but, like, don't make me wait.
I know. And speaking of waiting, the boys' fan base sucks.
Yeah, what a great segue.
I know, right? The boys' fan base stinks.
Don't trust us, the boys fans. We don't watch our own show.
Yeah.
The theories that some of you make about the boys makes no damn sense at all.
Yeah.
And It's all summed up by my favorite comment I've ever seen get spammed all over TikTok. Did Billy kill Butcher though?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, I think Black Noir is gonna be, because the comics. I'm like, did you not see him without his mask like 50 times in this season, or at least twice?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm like, how can you guys think that there's something?
That there isn't.
Yeah. And even Eric Kripke was like, no, I don't want to do that because that'd be like a cop out.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many fan things to hate on.
Yeah.
People taking until season 4 to realize that the show is a criticism of fascist, right-wing, conservative ideology, Christian nationalism, white supremacy, alt media. Like, it's always been about those people.
Yeah.
Oh, the show became woke. No, it always has been.
Yeah. I'm just like, why are you guys complaining about it now? Like, even in the last season, they do a police brutality bit.
Well, because in earlier seasons, like let's say with how they would talk about the objectification of women with Starlight in the show, people in that frame of mind would interpret it as them making fun of people on the left when they were pointing out how people on the left are exploited for capitalism or yada yada. And it's like, it's always been a critique of capitalism and fascism. It's been nothing else.
Yeah.
But like if you watch it with a certain frame of mind, like there's this one guy whose audio's been playing all over TikTok where he's like, you watch The Boys, if you like Trump, you would like Homelander. I think you'd be a Starlighter though. The Starlighters are the woke left, and Homelander is a badass with cool powers. And like, I'm like, like you saw it here,
It's
folks.
over.
Even if you watch him be the bad guy behind the scenes and all, you'll still think he's the good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember seeing one thing that really irked me was how everyone was hating on Starlight the whole season until they saw 2 seconds of her cheeks.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, y'all need Jesus. Not Jesus, actually, because the whole point of the show is,
Yeah.
is that you don't.
Oh, we didn't talk about Firecracker at all.
Oh,
we'll come back to
I
that.
hate
We'll come
her.
back to that.
Yeah.
I hate her too.
Yeah.
But I want to make this clear about Starlight. Erin Moriarty, whether or not she had plastic surgery done, you guys did way too much. Like, I understand
Yeah.
she looks different now, but like, you guys are mean.
Yeah.
You guys are very mean.
Yeah. The boys
And then
fans.
you guys completely flipped 180 when you saw that.
Yeah. I'm just like, I like immediately. I didn't even watch the episode. The episode had it like it dropped, and I think it was like midnight for me, and I immediately saw people glazing Starlight, and they're like, "I love Starlight. I've always loved Starlight. Oh, I can't believe she showed her cheeks. Ah ha ha." I'm like, "Shut up."
Yeah, I think the only... I mean, I'll still say that Starlight was super unlikable this season, but making fun of her because of her face is just bad.
Yeah.
But the only time Starlight was likable the whole season for me was when the shifter was talking to her in the in the little building. Just, the acting was a lot more interesting when it was the shifter pretending to be her and like, oh, I proposed to Huey and yada yada and like all that. Just super funny. I liked the shifter a lot, and then she just gets beat down and then she's dead, I guess.
Yeah. R.I.P. Shifter.
We'll miss you,
Yeah.
Shifter Starlight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a annoying part of The Boys. Another annoying part was like, kind of just like, again, mainly it's just like the Starlight memes that were annoying. I also think it was annoying that people kept complaining, and they're like, "Oh, now this show is like so woke." And I'm like, "Stop using woke as a word. Challenge impossible for any right-leaning person." And then I saw. I think another thing that really annoys me is that, like, how many like of the deep fans there are.
Oh yeah.
And like I know some of people are being like ironic, and they're like,
peak.
"Oh, I don't really." Yeah, they're like, "Oh, the peak," and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah,
But
it's hard to distinguish the people that are agreeing with him from the people that are like making edits as a joke, and that's
Yeah.
concerning.
Yeah, because it's just like I mean I get annoyed on the other hand as well, where people are like, "Oh, I can't believe people like a character who does all these things," and I'm like, "I'll hold your hand when I tell you this. They're fictional." It's
Yeah.
one thing to like a character who does bad things, and then it's another thing to agree with the character's actions.
Yeah, I mean, all the characters in the show have done atrocious things,
Yeah.
but no, I mean the deep. I don't see what there is to like. I mean, I love the
I don't
joke.
either, to be honest.
I love the jokes, like the peak and all that, but like he's so played out. Why is he still in the show? Like, kill him already.
Yeah,
I was
guess
hoping
it's
that
just-
Sage would frame him and then Homelander would kill him.
Yeah, me too. I was like, please, dear God.
And then Homelander was like, wait, it wasn't him. And then she's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what you would do to him. But
Yeah. Yeah.
fan base being homophobic to Frenchie because they did not see it
yeah.
coming that he was bisexual. Boo, you are stupid and suck.
Wah. Wah.
Now,
Wah, wah, wah.
if you wanted to make a valid criticism, it is weird that Frenchie knowingly hooked up with the guy whose family he killed, and that Frenchie is probably twice his age. But you guys didn't say none of that. You were like, oh, he's gay now. Like, at least have a reasonable reason to be upset. Like,
yeah.
Like, I feel like Kimiko is the one woman that would make a gay person straight. But you guys didn't say that. Like, you guys just were like disgusted.
Yeah. It was super weird because I was just like, why are you guys talking like that? Like, why do you guys care so much?
More upset about things like that than any other horrible things that happen in the show.
Yeah. They're like, ew, gay representation. Like, we don't get enough of that already.
Wokeness.
More like, broke.
Yeah.
Go woke,
I have
go
no
broke.
money.
I have
and
no
no
money.
job.
Oh my god. Yeah. I think the boys fans are stupid, probably because they're 14-year-old boys who have never like interacted with another human being in their life. But you know, what can you do?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
definitely
also-
think you'd have to be a little bit older to understand the show. Not because you become like, not because of intelligence per se, but like the reason that the show is so engaging, other than the characters and the heroes and the powers and all that, is living through American politics as an adult and watching a show reflecting American politics. It's art. As a
Yeah.
14-year-old, like, you don't even remember Trump's presidency anymore because you were 10 years old when Biden was elected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was 8 years old when Obama was elected.
Yeah.
It's like, do I have
would.
vivid memory of Obama like actually doing stuff as president? Not really. I just remember not feeling like it was the end of the world every day. But yeah, this show is so reflective of the real world that you have to live a little bit longer and have the wisdom and experience to see what it's reflecting. And I mean, there's so many buzzwords, especially like, you know, the coincidental final episode being Assassination Run, and when Billy mentions, or when the scientist tells Billy about that virus killing all soups, he's like, a global pandemic. I was about to say a global genocide, but a global pandemic. It's like, ooh, we've heard that word a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we've also heard the other word a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only few things that, ironically, it's just like, they do reflect very current politics, but they also reflect a lot of older politics, and that's why, again, dumb teenagers are like, oh my god, they predicted something, and then you look in the history book, and then they're like, it's like, this happened, like, a while ago as well.
Yeah, the first season seemed very reflective of Bush-era politics, especially like just Homelander being the PR guy over the flight incident and all that. And then, yeah, season 3 reflected on the 80s and Reagan era and all that. And that's how, we put some socioeconomics into the story, and it actually plays into the characters like MM, which was like really good writing.
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
And you'd just be missing out if you don't know
MM, my
US history.
boy, my goat.
Yeah.
Goat milk.
That poor man has to deal with love sausage in every season.
I know. I would.
Well, 2, 3,
Get
and
it.
4.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna change the pace a little bit because we're gonna move on to news. Wait, before we do that, let's rank the seasons of The Boys. Before we, as final thoughts.
All right. And just a tiny smidge before that, I think we should definitely just add in that Firecracker was a very important key role in the show. Just obviously a very Alex Jonesy character, but like,
yeah,
she really had the ball rolling and like setting everything up to make Starlight look as awful as possible. But they also made Starlight like a bad person. Like, we didn't know any of this about her.
Yeah. I also thought I was like, that's kind of weird that they're like going like, oh, she's such a bad person, yada yada yada, and she said this to me at the pageant. I'm like, that's it? That's your gripe?
Yeah.
She said mean things to you when you were a child?
Yeah, it was just weird because like Starlight genuinely seemed like the goody two-shoes character in the first season, and now they're like, actually, she was this rotten woman, like horrible person to everybody, like, just, yeah, and that she would hide behind her Starlight identity, and it went from like Firecracker trying to make her look like a bad person on TV to her just being a bad person.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, and I was like, okay, well now she's trying to like learn and grow, and like whenever she's like mildly confronted about it, she throws hands. Like,
yeah.
She socked Newman for just saying like something about it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well.
But yeah, let's rank the seasons.
Yeah, and 4th place I have The Boys season 2.
Season 2, yeah, I was gonna say that.
Season 2.
Not a bad season, but
yeah,
not as good as the rest.
Yeah, just doesn't have that much sauce. In 3rd place, I have The Boys season 1.
Okay, so we have the same ranking. It's gonna go 2, 1, 4, 5.
Yeah, 4, 3.
Sorry, 2, 1, 4, 3.
Yeah, I can't do math.
That's not math. I just pattern.
That's just counting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Season 3 was the best so far, though. I like that the stakes are going up and up and up, but the overall season, 3 was better.
Yeah. Yeah. God, my news list is on my phone.
Yo.
Hold on, I got something up here, so it'll jog my memory. So firstly, I do want to discuss something I've been seeing. I don't know if you've also been seeing it around. But James Gunn has said nothing is in production except all the things that are greenlit right now at DC. And there was no mention of the Batman 2. Nobody knows. It's up in the air right now if the Batman sequel is in production or even greenlit.
Bruh, it's been like how many years?
2021? 2022. So it's been 2 years already.
Okay, well, maybe it's not in production because it's already finished.
Yeah, true.
Don't do this to me. No, we've been waiting so long.
I know.
Batman was so good.
I know. I'm like, please.
I thought you were gonna say like not even the Superman movies in production. They just took some pictures and went home.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah. Oh my god. I would take the Batman 2 over 10 Superman movies. Don't do this to me.
Yeah. I'm actually really upset. So it's up in the air. Maybe it is already been in production and everything, but the lack of photos from the sets or any confirmation. Yeah, there's been zero confirmation that it started, other than Matt Reeves saying that he's working on the script, but that doesn't really mean anything.
Script.
Yeah, that doesn't really mean. But he said that like a year ago, I think, where he was like, "Yeah, I'll work on. I want to work on the script. I got some ideas going." I remember that's like the last. I know. I was like, that's the last thing I ever heard about the Batman sequel.
Oh, hey, let's make this banger movie and never make a sequel, even though everyone wants it.
I know.
Even though there's so much potential for multiple different villains. Like, you could make a quintuple G, however you say 5 trilogy, quadrilogy, quintuply, quintilogy.
Yeah? I actually don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so with that bad news, I got good news.
Alright.
Well, I mean, it's not really good news, it's just news. A Spawn movie has officially got titled, and
King Spawn?
Yeah, King Spawn.
Well, that doesn't count because I already knew that.
Well, I said you might know a few of these.
Yeah, well, that doesn't make me feel better about the Batman too.
I know. I think the rest of what I got is not as good.
I'm super down to watch Spawn when it comes out, but do we even know if that's near? Like, is that even being produced right now, or is it just titled?
It's, as far as we know, the scripts might be...
So, like, nothing within the next year?
Yeah, probably not. Or in the next 2 years, probably. Yeah. There is... I saw this earlier today on Rotten Tomatoes, their Instagram page. They mentioned a reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer with a bunch of stars from Riverdale and... What was the other show? Outer Banks.
It sounds cringe.
Yeah, probably will be. I don't even really... Honestly, I don't really like I Know What You Did Last Summer because I think it's trying to do what Scream does, and it doesn't do it well or that good.
Wait, isn't Scream partially a parody of that?
I don't know. When I watched it, I felt like I Know What You Did Last Summer was like kind of a satire.
Yeah, but Scream had elements of that because it was also parodying that. When they all went in the car ride and they killed the guy and then he wasn't dead and then they threw him in the lake or something. Yeah. You got it backwards.
No. 19...
Oh, wait. I'm not thinking about Scream. I'm thinking about Scary Movie.
What the... Are you joshing me right now?
I was like, wait, they did that in Scary Movie, but I said Scream. Oh man, no, that's wrong. That's so wrong.
I mean, I think the Scream movie came out in 1990.
Yeah, no, because you said satire. I was like, yeah, Scary Movie was a satire. More of a parody, but...
Nah. Yeah, Scream came out in 1996. I Know What You Did Last Summer came out in 1997. So, I think it just like... It was like, ooh, look at us. We subvert your expectations on what the slasher genre is.
Yeah,
and then,
I mean, with 1 year apart, it's possible they were in production at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's most likely that they were in production at the same time. But...
Plus, I think satire was like a trend in the late 90s or mid 90s.
Yeah. Self-aware
Like,
movie.
there was that No, that was the 2000s, but they did a Drake Bell Spider-Man parody that I've never seen except for clips.
Oh, Firefly or whatever it's called, Dragonfly.
Probably. I don't even. I've only seen clips. I don't even know what the movie's called.
Yeah,
But
with Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's in it.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's in it. He's the best friend character.
Yeah, is Will Ferrell in that?
I don't know. I've never really watched it, but
I'm swapping faces in my mind with random imagery.
Well, that movie is also, I wouldn't particularly say it's satire because I feel like it's more parody.
Yeah. Well, parodies were definitely a trend in the early 2000s.
Yeah, which I, again, blame Scary Movie for.
Yeah.
I remember rewatching Haunted House, and I was like, this is the most unfunny thing I've ever watched. I think I was watching the second one, maybe, but either way, it was not funny.
Yeah, I remember it was one of those things where I was like, ooh, I'm not allowed to watch this, because there was, like, drugs and nudity and stuff. But, like,
Yeah.
I don't really think I understood most of the jokes either.
Yeah. I think
And
it's
I would
funny.
just laugh at people getting physically hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny for 12-year-olds.
Yeah, that's around the age I was, I think, when A Haunted House 2 was in theaters.
Yeah.
Which is also around the age I watched Ride Along with Kevin Hart in theaters, and I was like, wow, this was actually hilarious. And now I'm like, and now I refuse to watch anything with Kevin Hart in it because I'm like, he's so dreadfully unfunny.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Hart, don't watch this podcast.
Kevin Hart, don't watch this podcast. Don't. No.
I liked your my favorite role of yours is on the background of Kai Cenat streaming.
Yeah. And then very quickly we will talk about the MCU. It got announced recently-ish that the Russo brothers are back. We're going to direct the next two Avengers movies, and they have confirmed they are fully stepping away from Kang the Conqueror or any thing to do with Kang. So they're not going to recast him. They're just going to...
Is it Galactus time?
I don't know. I don't know if it's Galactus or... I would like to see Victor Von Doom.
Oh yeah,
that would be really sick.
The thing with Doctor Doom is like, is he gonna have his own country that's never been named in the MCU before?
Yeah. Well, they've done
Multiverse
Easter eggs of it.
thing.
I hope they don't do. Please, dear God, don't do a multiverse thing with Doctor Doom. I don't think I could handle them just shoving in fan service.
Are we at the end of Phase 4 yet?
We're in Phase 5.
Okay, when did Phase 5 start? Was that with Quantumania or something?
Yes.
Okay. It's very clearly fallen apart and lost interest. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I kept up for a while. I watched everything on Disney Plus until, what was the last thing I watched? It was She-Hulk. Oh, I watched Secret Invasion, and nothing
and
after
you watched,
that.
No, you watched Loki season 2, I think.
I did watch Loki season 2. Yeah, and that was actually not so bad. But like, I just was like, okay, I'm satisfied here. I'm not gonna keep putting myself through this, because 9 out of 10 times the shows were awful, and I don't know if Echo was good, but
I don't know if it goes to either.
And same with Star Wars shows. I watched the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, but then they just started pumping out so much stuff, and I'm like, no, I can't keep up with this. And I haven't watched anything. The Bad Batch. I haven't watched Kenobi. I haven't watched Acolyte. I haven't watched...
We watched Kenobi.
Whatever else. I didn't watch Kenobi.
Oh, I remember us, like, on the Yona channel.
I watched the fight scene from Kenobi.
Yeah.
Because that was genuinely cool, and it could have just been like a movie or something, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, someone did a cut of it
I
where
know.
it was... Yeah, that was really cool, but it got taken down because Disney
Of course.
did. Yeah. But, I don't know. I also think it's just unfortunate that they're pumping up so much stuff, and it could be like, you know, comics where they do issues and stuff, and then they have like a tie-in, like Avengers title or X-Men title or like a group thing, you know, and they have multiple characters show up instead of just trying to connect everything into one narrative, like one overarching narrative.
Yeah, the number of holes is immeasurable now.
Yeah,
and
because
like that was doomed to happen. But like, just reboot it.
Yeah, I mean, reboot it or just commit to being something to loosely follow instead of making your audience have to watch 7 TV shows in a year and then watch 5 movies in a year and then
7 TV shows directed by people that don't communicate with each other.
Yeah, that don't have a showrunner because Kevin Feige is the ultimate showrunner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like,
yeah, no, I don't care for the MCU anymore, and it's like, whatever. I want more Spider-Man, but like, I don't care who makes more Spider-Man. I just want more Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Tom Holland has been, like, if there's anything in the works in terms of more Spider-Man.
As of right now, no. He's pursuing his drama career in stage acting.
Yep, and people are being annoying about that whole Romeo and Juliet thing, which people weren't going to watch a Romeo and Juliet play anyway, especially the people that were going to be complaining about this. Just shut up.
I can't believe people... Yeah, I can't believe people are going like, oh, well, why does she look like that? Why does she look like that? Bro, are you gonna fly to London? I know your ass is somewhere in, like, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. It's like, who cares?
Who cares?
You guys didn't complain when Romeo and Juliet came out and they were guarded gnomes.
Yeah, you know, they really care about the historical accuracy and the lore of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, shut up, bro.
You want historical accuracy? Alright, I want Shakespeare plays to only be played by men.
Yeah.
That's how it had to be for a long time.
Yeah. You want historical accuracy? Have everyone sit down and read the play out loud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah. Is there more news? Because I haven't heard anything too promising so far.
No, I don't have anything promising.
This year sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just this week. The Spawn thing, I mean, Terrifier 3, we got the first looks of that.
Oh, great.
I don't care about
the first 2.
I know, I didn't either.
I just saw the clip where he pulls out a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, are these scary? Because they look really goofy.
Yeah, I think it's just like shock, like brutal horror stuff. So, and it's just like that. But other than that, I think stuff about long legs, a lot of stuff about Twisters. But again, we didn't really watch that, and we probably won't cover it on the podcast. Next week, I want to at least cover Oddity. I hope that we can watch Oddity soon.
I'd like to.
Then, yeah. Apparently, it's the scariest movie this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Every movie is the scariest movie of this year.
Even Despicable Me 4.
Yeah.
Which we will not be talking about on the podcast at all. I do not want to... I don't want to...
It's not even that my expectations for like the scariness are high. It's just that the movies that they call scary aren't even scary, and that's coming from me, who's like very easily startled, and suspense like makes my heart go crazy. But like, was any scene in Long Legs other than the scene towards the beginning supposed to be scary? Because I felt nothing really. Yeah, no, it's not. Also, why is she psychic? Still, it didn't pay off. Yeah.
Like, what's the point of her being psychic if she doesn't use her psychic abilities? You're right half the time. Bro, she's never right. I've never seen her be right once.
Except that the house was the one, and then her partner got killed.
Yeah, but,
Which,
yeah.
that would have totally been me if someone was like, this is the one. And I'm like, what makes you say that? Just the feeling. Okay, well, you're dumb. I'm going in the house.
Yeah, real. Yeah, so that's that. I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Unless you got news.
Popular illegal streaming service F Movies has been taken down because it was mentioned in a court hearing, and a bunch of boomers found out that people were illegally streaming movies and TV shows.
Bruh.
And it is gone. That's all I know, media related.
Dang. I gotta find. Never mind.
We
Mr.
gotta
Government Man.
Continue patronizing our overlords and paying $20 to rent a movie on Amazon.
Yes, please let me pay $20 to $25 to rent a fucking movie that I can watch for 2 days.
Yeah.
That I'll only watch once.
Yeah, you better. I don't know why people pay $35, $40 for hardcovers of movies. Like, how?
Oh, you mean
can you afford?
Okay. You mean like this?
Okay, I mean like regular movies.
like this?
Like, I mean like at Target. Like,
you mean like this?
I mean like you go to Target and they have like the most recent Transformers movie on DVD. That movie's older than you are. It's probably $2 at Walmart.
It was $1. And also, look, they covered Obi-Wan Kenobi's face.
Why?
With the $1 sticker.
Why would they put the sticker over him?
I don't know. I feel like that was intentional. Like this? This is an old-ass movie. It's in black and white. I just want to show off.
I'm not saying having hardcovers is bad. I mean, people pay $40 or more for hardcovers of new movies that suck.
Yeah, true. Truth. But yeah, I think that does it for us today on the Cynthetic podcast, everybody. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and join us next week when we talk about Oddity and possibly other stuff.
Yeah, other stuff.
Other stuff. Okay.
Check the mic and make
Bye.
sure it sound right, boys.